Ayy, I walk around like that nigga. Finger on the trigger. If a nigga wants some smoke, I let this chopper eat his liver.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas, aka Sweaty Mod, and in today's video, it's going to be a new series starting on my channel called Call of Duty Bases. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you, the player, how to improve the quality of your gameplay. Now, what you may not understand is with this new series, it's like a little bit of a Call of Duty school, which you can come here, click on the video, and learn a few things that you probably did or didn't already know. Now, it's going to be a little detail here and there, video to video, tip and trick on what you can do to become a better player. Now don't get me wrong, there are different types of players within the Call of Duty community. We got players that vary from casual players who just play the game to enjoy it. We got tryhards who sit there spawn trap game to game. Now, for you to get good at a game, it does take time, but it also does take a little bit of a change. Now, you may be wondering, what do you mean by change? I don't understand that. Or, what do you mean by this? Well, what you gotta understand is when it comes down to Call of Duty, it's a little bit of a mental thing. It's something that you gotta adapt to personally. Now, it may take people some time, or it might be instantaneously for you. You never know. But in today's video, I'm going to be showing you, the player, how you can improve the quality of your gameplay. And in today's video, we're going to improve on controller settings. This is probably the heart of your gameplay. Now, don't get me wrong, having a controller is nice. Some of you out there have a scuff controller, have these little thumb pads on your analogs, have triggers for your buttons. Totally fine. But what I do recommend is that you don't need any of them for the playstyle I'm going to be giving you. You just need your normal controller. That's all it's about. Not just that, in this video I'm going to be showing you a few key tips of what you can do to improve a gunfight as well within Call of Duty. Now I do have footage of me doing this, so we're going to break down the footage and talk about what I was doing. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so for us to get an understanding of what we need to do to become a better player, we're going to focus on settings and a little bit of gameplay today. Now for the settings, for you to find them, you can find them wherever you are within the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 application. For you to find it, you got to go to the menu settings, where it says right here menu. You'd find that right next to your D-pad and above your square button. You would press that, go over to options. And what we're going to mainly focus on today is controls. That's the core part of your gameplay right there, is controls. Let's go ahead and get into it. So in controls, as you can see, there's a lot of different settings you could use to your advantage. So me personally, I'm an aggressive player. I like everything maxed out. For the reason being, I like snapping on people, I like turning on people, I just like going berserk. But you, the player, I don't know what your playstyle is. But with the settings within this controller, you can pick a quality amount of settings to make yourself the best player you possibly can be. Now, you may be asking yourself, I already know this, why do I need to know this? Well, I challenge you, the player, to mess with your sensitivity over the next few games you play, or next few days. Okay, it does take some time to adapt to. As I said, adapt. That's one main core in Call of Duty. If you're able to adapt, you'll become a good player. Now, back in the day, I used to play on like a 11, like a very high, or a high, okay? Me personally, I noticed that wasn't satisfying me enough, so I amped it up to insane. Amped it up to insane in Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, and I played on it ever since. It's fun. But for you to player, you don't have to have both of these right here the same. You could have one of these lower than the other, or either higher than the other. You know, it's a personal preference of yours. Whatever makes your gameplay the best that it can possibly be. So just with sensitivity, it's fine. With ADS sensitivity, that's a different thing. This is something that they recently introduced in Update 1.10. This is somewhat similar to what Fortnite introduced within the game. Basically, whenever you aim down your sight, you're able to move around really fast, or either really slow. Whatever is more comfortable for you is what you're looking for. Okay? As I said, I'm an aggressive player, so I amped it up all the way. But if you're not an aggressive player, you can decrease the amount of ADS speed that you have to make it where your shot is 100%. So here is target assist and aim assist. So what these both do is that whenever you're aiming down your sight, there's a little bit of an aim assist on your crosshair, makes it where you follow a player. That's totally recommended. You know, I personally use that myself. That's an advantage that you have over the other player, knowing they probably have it on as well. But with you having a bomb sensitivity in this, it's gonna be a little hard for them to kill you if your shot is on. That's what they were focused on today, is your shot. If you have a good shot, you're going to win most of your gunfights. Alright, so controller vibration is another one within the game. I recommend having it off, because when you're trying to get your shot on, you know, play as a casual player and stuff, when getting shot at, being around score streaks, or even being killed, or even killing someone within the game, it's going to be a little hard for you to control your controller. That may sound weird, right? That's a personal preference that I have. I always keep it off. It messes me up sometimes and I just don't like it. Now sprint cancel reload is another one. There's multiple times where you can catch yourself reloading and someone runs into the same room as you and you need to sprint to cancel your reload, or either press triangle. Now this is one thing I've failed to have a lot, and which I'm probably going to be changing here soon. Probably going to have it on within the next few days and try to adapt to it. Auto mantle is another one. What it does is where whenever you're running next to an obstacle or object within the game, you will automatically jump over it. And sometimes that does get very annoying in the middle of gunfights. I recommend having that off. Auto sprint, this is basically where when you tap L3 and once or twice, once to keep on running, twice I believe to stop. I recommend having that off. Stick layout, now you can go into a little bit of a detail here. Now, as I said, for this entire setup, it's what makes you comfortable. So if you're used to playing one of these, continue playing it. Don't try to switch it up. But if you want to try to be a better player, I recommend switching it up a little bit. Now me personally, I don't mess with any of these Southpaw or Legacy Southpaw settings. Haven't really been a fan of it. I've been a default player ever since day one. Pretty sure a lot of us has. So here goes button layout. So with these button layouts, there's a whole lot of different settings that you can use to your advantage. Okay? So at default, you know, everything's normal. But when you scroll over to the right, there's a lot of different settings. For you to be a good player, I recommend two of these. Tactical to drop shot. Okay? And you know, you can drop shot by holding R3 in. Or stick and move. Stick and move is a really big one within the Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 series. For the reason being, Black Ops 3 was a jetpack Call of Duty. Same with Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare. You would use this to your advantage. For the reason being, you're jumping with R3, which is your ADS analog. Makes it where you move around and jump at the same time, 100% of an advantage. If you are not using this, I recommend using it. 100% guaranteed satisfaction improvement. With that being said, let's move on to the next one. L1 and R2. R2 and L2. And L1. Yeah. A little bit of brain fart. So, at default, L2 and R2 are ADS and fire. But you flip them, it's just like the default settings on the Call of Duty that was in the past. I recommend having it flipped. Okay? Now, after you have all your settings as comfortable as you're able to have them, next step is gunfights. What can you do to improve the quality of your gunfights? Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be showing you some gameplay that I have of what I used my settings and some gameplay to help improve you as the player. Let's get right into it.
What's your name? You
These
have
kids are
friends?
all running armor. I got like a mad amount of hit markers.
UAV
Oh,
standing by.
and yeah. I would've gotten that. I would've gotten. Oh.
What the?
UAV established overhead.
I don't know. Wait till you see the play of the game. Whoa, that was insane. But besides that, let's go ahead and do a play-by-play on what I actually did there to help you, the player, improve your gameplay. Alright, so in this gameplay, I do jump around and pre-fire people. That's a little thing you can do with Gung-Ho. Gung-Ho is a really, really essential perk for doing things like this. For the reason being, you're getting a one-up on your opponent. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I am firing almost instantly as soon as I start jumping, compared to while running. It's a little bit up you could have on your opponent, so I do recommend using Gung-Ho. So, what we have learned today is that adapting to a new playstyle consists of the heart of your controller. Okay? With your controller, you can become a better player just by the way you play, such as your sensitivity and button control. Now, if you add that with a perk in the game called Gung-Ho, totally changes the game 100% of the way. So, stay tuned for more videos like this in the future with more in-depth detail on spawn trapping, class setup, and ways to become a better player. Now, with that being said, I do appreciate you stopping by and watching today's video, and I hope that you have a good rest of the day. And last but not least, if you are new here, or even if you do enjoy the video, hit that like button. And if you are new here, as I just said, consider subscribing. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Walk around like that nigga, finger on the trigger. If a nigga wants some smoke, I let this chopper eat his liver. I came with the 38, I'm leaving with a body. If he try me doing sloppy, shooting out the big body. Ayy, pop out on a pussy, nigga, what the